Can you hear me now? There's like a 20-second, 30-second delay, so when you hear this, let us know. I think the hat makes me talk weird.
They hear us.
Oh, yay! You can hear us. All right, awesome. How is the sound? I can adjust the volume, so let me know. Is it good? Bit of an echo. Shouldn't be an echo. Not sure how there's an echo.
Maybe you're yelling.
Jeff Williams is saying echo.
Yeah.
I don't know what the echo is, guys. Okay.
Do we have an input from there and
No.
there?
No, there's only one.
Okay.
There can only be one. Oops. That's not what I wanted.
Let's see.
There are face-finding squares. Yeah, that's the autofocus of the camera. Sorry. Because it's just plugged right into the computer. I don't hear... Yeah, most people don't hear an echo. Reverb, it's gone now. All right, cool. Yeah, the face tracking squares, it's going to do that. I'm sorry.
What's
Because...
with the box?
Yeah. There's boxes over our faces from the autofocus. Because apparently there's a way to make a clean HDMI out on the camera, and dummy me couldn't figure out how to do that in the short amount of time that I had to
so
set
our
up
video
today.
shows that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could spend a half an hour trying to figure it out, but hey, at least it doesn't show you what the shutter speed and aperture and ISO and all that is. You know, it was doing that too. All right. Anyway.
All right, so the biggest question that everybody's asking, and you want to know, and I know you want to know, is what's with the ugly hats? Well, today is the night before Steadfest, a.k.a. Ugly Hat Day.
That's right. So instead of like, you know, for Christmas, you have Christmas Eve. Well, we have Ugly Hat Night or Ugly Hat Day, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we're just kind of making this up as we go along, you know? Oh, the echo is from the room you're in when you talk loud. Yeah, that would make sense because this room doesn't have any amount of acoustic sound adjustment right now, and that probably just hurt everybody really bad. I'm sorry.
I don't know why
I looked away from the microphone.
I can't control him and his volume. It's kind of like Austin Powers. He has no control of his volume.
Oh, behave. All right, so first things first. This is about Steadfest, and we came up with some stuff when we did a VIP Zoom with our VIPs, and some of the Steadfest traditions are coming up in just a moment. But first, I have to open up a new whiskey. We were at ABC today because I needed a new bourbon, and as we're walking around the aisles, Derica goes, "Isn't that?" And I looked at it. Hidden behind other stuff was 2 bottles of this. This is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It is my all-time favorite bourbon of all time. It is 121 proof. That is 60.5% alcohol. And they want, I used to pay $40 to $45 for a bottle of this. It's $80 now because everybody found out how good it is. And they won a bunch of awards. Sorry to the headphone users.
Yes, yes.
The maniacal makes you look dignified. So, I'm going to pour myself a little bourbon. Because, you know, it's what I do. My glass even says, that's what I do. I drink and I know things. I usually cover up the know things part. I just say I drink.
If you're interested in getting your own glass just like this, it is available on Amazon.
Yeah, actually it is. All right, so Steadfest. It's our very own made-up holiday. And it's tomorrow. It's December 20th every year, also known as Derica's birthday. But the two don't actually coincide in any other way than they're the same day. But we came up with this, and then I was like, well, we got to have like a reason to celebrate and traditions and stuff. The reason to celebrate is making of your own stuff, you know, the making of things, the learning of doing it yourself, keeping up the old ways, if you will. That's really what the celebration is, and being together, sharing your brews, drinking your brews, making more brews. It's all good.
Being happy.
I'm just trying to catch up with this.
So one of the things that we came up with was that there should be a day or night before the grand poobah being Steadfest. And so that was the Ugly Hat Day. And as many of you guessed, ugly sweaters really don't convey well.
Yeah.
And that's already been done. So we wanted to be different. So
we had to do something different.
Ugly hats. And
they don't really do an ugly sweater day for any specific holiday. It's just like somebody made that up. So we wanted it to be Steadfest Eve. Instead of Steadfest Eve, it's Ugly Hat Day. Ugly Hat Day.
So another thing that you may be able to see over on the side here that we came up with was decorating your fermenter.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
And so Brian had to complicate that by creating rules.
Masking tape and Sharpies.
What you could use to decorate your fermenter. But we're also trying to incorporate plaid into that. So this was my first attempt at decorating a fermenter with masking tape to create a plaid. Now, this is actual tape and it's on a curved surface. Not fun. Would not recommend. So what I'm actually planning on doing is creating my own decorations that I think I'm just going to put on our website. So you can print them out at home if you want to share along in the ridiculousness. And you can make your own little decorations that will be already plaid. You just print them. They're already plaid for you and hang them on your fermenter or wherever you like.
I got to answer a couple people.
All right.
KP Heathen. The squares on our eyes are because I'm an idiot and don't know how to turn off the squares on the autofocus for our camera. So it's an eye autofocus camera. So it finds our eyes. Yeah. Sorry, I got rid of all the other junk that the camera shows on the back of the screen, but you see that. I'm very sorry. And somebody else. James Vaughn, thank you so much. He said we're the main channel that got him into brewing. Yay! You're welcome. Thank you. John Samuda, where's the Cointreau for your lovely wife? It's right there.
It's right there.
She's welcome to it if she wants to.
I was going to make my latest obsession, which is the...
Stacy, you are not late. We're just barely getting started.
Which is the Cointreau Cosmo. But a couple of days ago, I ended up having 2 of those, and my drinking habits
yesterday, wasn't it?
They're yummy, yesterday. And so I just drink them. And I wanted to, at least one of us,
she doesn't sip, she drinks like
coherent for this event. So I am abstaining from drinking. You were a couple of squares, yes, slightly. We're crazy though, so that's all right.
Just remember, I have access to the mute button.
So besides the ugly hat, and the decorating the fermenter,
the squares are a new Steadfest Eve tradition. Right? There we go. Now it's canon. That's right.
Is that we are going to don now our plaid apparel. So we encourage you, if you have plaid, to wear plaid on Steadfest Day. It's not necessarily Ugly Hat Day that you need to wear plaid. Brian just wanted to incorporate plaid into his ugly hat. But on Steadfest, that is the traditional apparel, is to wear plaid.
This is the only, this and a pair of flannel pajama pants.
2 different.
Yeah. One red, one blue. Yep. They're the only things of plaid that I own. I'm pretty sure in my entire life, I may have owned 1 flannel shirt when I lived up north.
This hat, I believe, is plaid.
It's plaid-ish.
Yeah.
It's plaid adjacent.
Plaid adjacent. So yeah, we're going to have to try to find plaid things that we're willing to purchase and wear, at least for Steadfest for next year.
Pappy and Nanas. This hat is ugly. I'm sorry. If you don't think so, I apologize. But to me, this is an ugly hat, especially since I live in Florida. This is a completely impractical hat for Florida. Here, I'll have to do this.
So that leads me into another thing that we decided to implement into Steadfest celebration, and that's the round robin ranting. So
that was my idea.
Just get around with a bunch of family and friends.
Have a bitch fest.
Take turns of just ranting. You can rant about whatever you like. You can rant about ranting. It's up to you. You can rant about how you don't want to rant. See? It's fun. It's silly.
You can rant about the lack of ranting.
It's ridiculous.
That you're doing.
It's all what Steadfest is about. If you do
I can rant about Cassie.
Yes. If you hear random noises, it's cooler here. It's not cold because I know many of you are dealing with snow, and
But
we don't
we're
have that
wearing
problem.
hats that are really, really warm. Like my ears are sweating.
So
okay?
our house is cool, and we have 7 cats. So they are running around like crazy and jumping on things and making a bunch of noise. So if you hear noise, it's a cat.
Sonny Lundberg, yes, I'm getting hot-headed already. This is not going to last. I'll tell you that right now. Cynthia Lenz, yes, we know. Because I'm dumb and don't know how to turn them off. Ian Sush, rant about not being able to find 71B in Europe. Haha. Okay, well, why would I rant about that? I'm not in Europe. Sorry, had to do it. But I can rant about it being hot in this hat. Wow! And I can rant that I have little blocks on my face in the picture. And
it's annoying him.
And it's really annoying. That's why I'm not looking at it. Because it'll drive me nuts and I will have to fix it. But then I have all you people waiting and I don't want to do that to anybody. Brian, hot-headed and rant never.
Yes, exactly.
Do you even know me?
It's sarcasm, sweetheart.
I don't get sarcasm.
I'll translate for it.
I don't understand sarcasm. Okay, Christopher Menz. That is a very good question. Begins the rant. When is your yeast plushie going to officially become Thwackicus?
Thwackicus.
That's a good name.
I like
we
that
have
name.
not officially come up with a name yet.
Yeah.
And it's been a year.
And
Colby got us that
all
a
right,
year ago.
so here is the issue that keeps coming up, and
Cynthia, the squares are not going. I'm not going to go
really
try to fix
annoying, and that's anything that we put behind us. And I'm surprised it hasn't happened with my holiday decor, but anything that goes on the shelf that has a face, randomly and differently during different times of filming, our beloved camera will decide that is the face that it needs to focus on rather than these faces. Now, granted, those faces might be cuter than ours, and I can appreciate that, but
Oh, boy.
you probably want to see our faces in focus
Well, they want to
rather
see yours. I don't know
than
about mine.
a plushie or something else. So one of the times the camera did focus on the plushie face, which I thought was far enough removed from a human face that it wouldn't get attracted to that, but it did. So that's why the plushie is no longer behind me. He used to live over here on top of a cup. The Einstein mug had to be removed because Einstein's face was getting focused on. The Einstein bust that we had to get moved because it was focusing on that. Our camera doesn't like us sometimes, and so we try to keep things as simple as possible, and unfortunately that's limiting some of our fun decor on the shelf.
Drew, of course I started early. I always start early. I am always on time. I am never late. Therefore, I am almost always early. And it was mostly just to make sure that we had the audio set up. That's got me started in the brewing thing, and now I have 6 brews going. Love the videos and laughs. Thanks. Yay! You are welcome, Rick. Thank you. What? Oh, it's Weston. Wes, what am I drinking? I am drinking Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that my lovely wife found for me when we were at ABC because somebody decided to hide 2 bottles of it because this stuff is hard to get.
Yeah, it was stashed behind, like, Southern Comfort or something weird. It was...
Yeah. I mean, I can understand stashing it behind Southern Comfort because anyone that's going to drink this will never, ever touch Southern Comfort.
Stop.
Sorry, I'm just saying. Onion wine. Who wants onion wine? It's really good for cooking with, from what I understand.
Yeah. Same with mushroom wine.
Rita, you're not actually late. We just turned it on a little early.
There was a bunch of people here, and we didn't.
Yeah, there was like
keep them
50
waiting,
people, and I'm like,
so
I'm not
we're
going to
like-
make these people wait. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to them already, so I might as well join in.
Alrighty, yes.
Did you go through all the stuff?
This was.
No, you didn't go through all the traditions yet.
This was my handiwork, my annoying handiwork. I'm going to do better next year, and I'm going to have downloadable
Grandiala, I love that.
decorations for next year. Okay, so the Steadfest celebration things that we came up with was Steadfest Eve, or the night before
Whoa,
Steadfest.
hold on a second. Tiger Pat, I see you found Ben Franklin's glasses. The heck you talking about, man? These are my glasses. I've had these for like a year.
Yeah, it's his glasses that he's always had. So the night before Steadfest is Ugly Hat Day, and that's why we're wearing ridiculous hats. So that was one of the things that our VIPs came up with that would be a fun tradition for Steadfest. Steadfest Day, we are going to do round robin ranting. And that means you get around with your friends and family and you just rant about anything. It could be literally anything. It'd be how you don't want to rant about ranting. I don't know.
I have some questions. Caramelized onion wine. Glenn, no, that sounds horrible, disgusting, but it would be great for cooking with. And then splitting Knox archery. How many bottles are behind you? That many.
A
I
lot.
have like 100. I don't know.
Yeah, because they're like 4 bottles deep, so on each shelf.
And someone asked, do you make Applejack? No, we do not. And here's why. Technically, it's considered fermentation. And, well,
Distillation.
yeah, that. It's considered distillation. So we don't do it. According to the U.S. government, they do consider it that way. For some people, it's like a minor thing and, that sort of thing. We're never going to show it on the channel because it could be considered illegal and we don't like to promote that sort of thing. And second, it is taking everything that's in that bottle and condensing it down. So all the methanols and ethyls and things like that aren't necessarily good for you, it's condensing those too. I don't really recommend it as a method of upping your brew. Just make like a 15% wine and have 2 glasses instead. That's my personal opinion. Lisa Lines. Hi guys, thank you for being you and honest. I don't know how to be anybody else. Is an ABV hydrometer reading below 1 guaranteed to be dry? Yeah. I mean, some people might still taste sweetness there depending on the thing, but it is still considered dry. Aaron Safstrom, yes, we know. Hence the Franklin glasses comment. Oh, okay.
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 Thank you. Now we understand.
Okay, James Vaughn, I make 5 gallons of beer. I got handle of any hint on doing 5 gallons of mead. Multiply all of our recipes by 5 except for the yeast. That's it. There's really no secret to it. But this is a 1 gallon fermenter. Notice I can lift it and move it and you can still see Derica's lovely face. With a 5 gallon fermenter in this area, you wouldn't see anything, and we couldn't really move them very easily. So for practical reasons, we do 1 gallons. And all you have to do is just scale them up by 5. It's easy. John Samuda, nope, we've never done it. We've fortified, like Drew just said, we've fortified with brandy.
Yep.
Darby Lewis, what's the fastest things to make and drink? Cocktails. Honestly, ciders probably. How do you guys prevent pellicles from forming in your bottled hydromels, low ABV brews? Even with proper sanitization, I can't seem to stop it from forming kombucha. We have never had that happen.
Yeah.
Ever. Proper sanitization should do that. I'm not saying you're not, but something is wrong. If you're getting a pellicle and you're making kombucha, you have some bacteria in there that are not supposed to be there.
It could either be some of your utensils that you're using, or maybe it might be something inherent in the products that you're using.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Okay. Somebody asked, what's my favorite flask? Don't have one, honestly. I want one, but there's no practical purpose in that because I won't drink when I'm out if I have to drive, so I drink when I'm home. So having a flask at home just seems kind of stupid because I can just grab the bottle and bring it with me. And I'm not even being a smart guy. I mean, that's the truth. What is my opinion of, Christopher Banner asked, what is your opinion of barrel aging mead, small batch, specifically 3 to 5 liters? Okay, I think it's a fine idea. There's nothing wrong with it, but I do think that using wood staves and things like that is probably just as effective and not as wasteful. It's more efficient because those barrels can leak. Many, many people have told me that they've had problems with them leaking, so I'd just rather drop a wood stave in there and you get that flavor. You're never going to get the same effect as you get like in a whiskey or a rum because you're not going to leave it for years and let it go in and out and in and out. You're just not going to have that effect. So you're really just leaching out what you can over a period of a few weeks. And in a barrel like that, you're getting a lot more surface area of the product, so it's probably going to extract much, much more quickly. So yeah, I would just use the wood stave. That way you have more control and more time. Wow, it's going fast. How do you Kenny's answering some questions, and Stacy's here too. That's right.
Yay, Stacy! So in the comments section, if you see anybody's name that is in blue and has a little wrench, that is one of our moderators, one of our admins. They're part of our team, and so they are able to help you and answer questions and keep things flowing because there is no way that we can keep up with all the comments that are going on right now. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for our team for helping us out.
Lisa Lines, magnetized water? Not sure what you mean. Water doesn't have enough metal in it to be magnetized. So I don't really, I don't understand that, but I haven't researched it either, so I'm not really sure. Can you back sweep without needing to pasteurize or carbonating your mead? Only if you've gone past the alcohol tolerance of the yeast, Aaron. Oh my God. Slow down. Ian Sush, we did try wood chips. They extract much more quickly, so be careful. You won't need anywhere near as much time. And yeah, Kenny, a pellicle is usually part of, it's like the mother, sort of, but it's not really the mother. But that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, he knows.
Oh, okay.
He answered it.
Oh.
Somebody else asked.
Oh, okay. Chris, Wiki. I agree with you. Wine bottles need to put labels with easier glue material to remove. I agree. Okay, Poppy and Nanas. We said we were going to look into the root beer, and here's the problem. There's a couple of ingredients that are actually like really hard to get or borderline illegal because of narcotic effects. So that's why we haven't done it. We probably should do some more look into it and see if there's other ways of doing it. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Rita, there's a slow mode if you need it. That only affects each person. That slows down how fast each person can comment. It doesn't slow down how fast all the comments can come in. So I'm getting there. We're good. What's the best method to filter besides time and racking? Anthony Castillo. We don't filter at all. Time and racking is the best way. That really is the best way.
If you find that your beverage is extra cloudy and you want to speed that process up, then we have done additives to help with that process. But as far as filtering, no, we don't do that.
Brandy Ella, fermented root beer tastes gross anyway. That too. I had a hard root beer once and I didn't like it. So it doesn't really make me want to go, oh yeah, I want to go make that.
Your hat looks awesome now, babe.
Does it?
It's fantastic.
My ears were getting warm.
He's going to fly away.
All right, so something that you guys don't know about, but something that I worked very hard on. I spent at least 45 minutes at the computer writing something.
And this is all inspiration from one of the people that helps me out on Plant Life, and
Sarah.
That's Sarah.
Yep.
So thank you, Sarah.
Oh, wait. Jeremy, why does cold crashing always enhance the smell of eggs? It shouldn't. You shouldn't have the smell of eggs there to begin with. So if it's making it worse, you probably need to cure that problem of the egg smell, which is usually taken care of by oxidizing the brew before fermentation starts properly. Aerating is very, very important. Yeah. Okay. So the fastest from about 5 years. He's very curious about fresh. Wow. I want to let you know after 2 years letting my apples go to waste, bought a new house, I decided to do something with them. I jumped into cidering after finding you guys. Now I am 5 brews. That's awesome, Christopher. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I have a thing to read. I'm going to be reading 'Twas the Ugly Hat Night. Let me start that again. I'm going to be reading 'Twas Ugly Hat Night before Steadfest. So while I am reading, I will not be able to answer comments. So you might as well not put comments for a couple of minutes while I read this, because if you're typing, you're not listening to me, and I can't read it anyway.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a reading from Brian.
'Twas ugly hat night before Steadfest, when all through the house every creature was stirring, but with our cats there was no mouse. The fermenters were sitting in the station with care, in hopes that the giveaways soon would be there. The viewers were watching on TVs and phones, with visions of prizes arriving at their homes. And Derica in her hat, and I in my cap, that's coming off, had just hit record on a video that explains what Steadfest means and what it is for, hoping that some of those prizes are yours. When out of nowhere, a commenter spoke of Let me say that one again. When out of nowhere, a commenter spoke of yeast and of mead, and from a daydream I woke. This daydream I had was of a huge celebration with steadheads coming from every nation. I looked to my right, and I saw that she had the same vision, and together we finished the video, poured each a cup, and sat by the bookcase, drinking them up. Somehow, someday, this party must be. No promises yet. Just know that we cherish our viewers who laugh at our jokes, love every time that Derica says turbos. This Steadfest, remember, the point of it all is for each and every one of us, big and small, to enjoy what we have, to make what we drink, keeping it simple, the best we can think. So unto all, I raise my filled mug. To each of you, we offer thanks and a digital hug. Without you, Steadfest would not be here, but we do hope it comes again next year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did anybody actually hear any of that yet?
Submitting this for a Pulitzer Prize.
Submitting this for a Pulitzer Prize. I will actually put the full text of that in the community tab so that you guys can all get it. I read it better the first time I read it to her. We both got a little teary-eyed.
It was nice. But, you know, the pressure of being live, it's...
And sweating. Oh, my God. What are you trying to say, Wes? I've written books. The new Flying Nun?
When you had the little ears.
Oh, yeah. That thing is hot, man. Oh, my God.
It's supposed to be. It's like made for...
My head is sweating. I don't even have that much hair, and my head it's sweating. This is great. Insane. It's great. This is insane. I made a coconut water mead, 404 not found. That's an awesome name, by the way. Says 0% fat. We will see. What do you think should add it to flavor-wise to make it great? Lime, mango. Thanks for all your videos.
All right, so I'm with you here. I'm on that. And one of the requests that we've gotten multiple times that has made the list is to make a pina colada mead. And so, because I love all things pina colada and coconut, but I don't love saturated fat, and I don't like fats in brewing because it complicates things and can make things go rancid really bad, which is a problem.
It's not working.
I don't know what Brian was doing, but anyway, coconut water is the way to deal with that. So I'm thinking what to add with that would be anything you would imagine for like a pina colada type thing. So pineapple, mango, I think, and coconut would be good.
Julie!
Basically anything that you like with coconut, throw in there and see what happens. I think it's going to be wonderful.
Kenny's hinting that hat would work wonders if when the two of you make your way north.
Yes, it would. It would be really good snowing in the snow and digging out your driveway.
Yeah, there's no way we're going up this time of year. Listening to Cheryl complain about, I just shoveled 2 feet of snow and then they just plowed it all. I'm like, yeah, I remember those days.
I remember that in Rochester, New York. It was like, oh.
Messed up the lyric? I wrote the lyrics. I can't possibly mess them up.
Thank you. I have no issue with my age, but Brian likes to make the jokes about what number it is.
I'm going to be... can anyone actually guess what my age is? I've said it before.
You really want to put that out there?
I've said it before.
All right, so Brian has his one ugly hat. I have a whole arsenal of ugly hats, and
the rest of my hats are cool.
I think
they're not ugly.
We're trying to keep this to an hour, right? Was that our goal? Hour-ish?
Hour and a half. Yeah.
Which always means
Brian Pelzinski, 32. Not even remotely close.
But thank you. So I'm gonna put on a new hat. Let's see. Got my hat box over here.
Julie was watching the January 6th hearings and then realized CS was having a live show, so I paused it. Thanks, Julie. I'm actually going to be 66.
Someday.
In 14 years.
There.
That's not ugly, though. It's actually... Whoa. Oh, it has a thing on the side.
It has a thing.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of ugly.
I don't know which side the thing is supposed to be.
Nelson, it's a joke, man. It's just a joke.
Yep. Don't take anything we say seriously, particularly tonight.
On a live show? Come on. With Evan Williams being the oldest.
Thank you, Kelly. It's not tie-dye.
Wes.
That would make it better, right?
Brain. Oh, thank you. First off, Brain is as old as his tongue and older than his teeth. I like that. That's clever.
That is clever.
Francisco, 1,000 years old. Sometimes I feel that way.
I think everybody can say that.
Derek is going to be 22, Brandiella. I joined late. What are we drinking? Purple Prince. I am drinking Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that my wife found for me at ABC. If you've heard that story 3 times already, I apologize.
And I'm drinking water because I'm boring. All right, so while Brian is reading these, I'm going to go through the Steadfest celebration ideas once again. Today is the night before Steadfest, which is also known as Ugly Hat Night. So this is where you get your ugly hat.
For all the new people.
And you wear it with joy in your heart. Because you look ridiculous and so does all your dearest
Jason
friends.
Peak, but sometimes you don't.
And then on Steadfest's day itself, you want to decorate your fermenter. And the fermentation decoration suggestion is with duct tape, or not duct tape, with masking tape and Sharpies, because that's our label, so it was a big joke thing. So I attempted to do a plaid decoration with different colors of tape on our fermenter, and that was really annoying. So I'm actually going to create my own ornaments that I'm going to have as a PDF that you can download off of our website, so you can have your own printed out plaid fermenter ornaments to put up if you want to. It's just for fun.
I'm just going to every minute say, I'm stupid and didn't know how to turn off the autofocus boxes on the camera, so it's showing the boxes on the screen. I am very sorry. I will beat myself mercifully later in punishment of this. And fix it for the next time we do one.
And that leads
I'm not really drunk now.
That leads me to another thing that you can do on Steadfest, and that's round robin ranting. So
Sonny Lundberg, can you take a break? I'm going to get a new beer. Run. That's what I have to say. Darby Lewis, show your full collection. My full collection of what?
Oh, of the hats? All right, I can change out a new hat.
The boxes are a tradition now. We have to do it every... That's what somebody said, Rita. I like that idea.
I don't know if his hat is considered ugly. Brian thinks it's cute.
I like it. I think it's cute.
It's a little...
Teresa Couch, do you use nutrients more than you don't? Yes. At this point. We use Fermento a lot. Like almost every brew.
But it's one of those things that you don't have to. It's a thing that you can use if you wish. And we try to show that by our earlier videos when we never use them at all. So
Jeffrey, your children are chiming in. Yep, they are.
Yep, they're very rowdy. All right, so we've done round robin ranting. We've talked about the Ugly Hat Day. We talked about decorating your fermenter.
Jeez.
So the other thing, or another thing, is don we now our plaid apparel. So if you know about our VIP, that is our group of special people that donate us monthly a certain type of money. So there's different tiers, and then they get special privileges for those donations. And our top level is the plaid level. And so we thought incorporating plaid into Steadfest was important. And so, you know, there's things that people wear for the holidays. So we're suggesting you wear plaid for Steadfest, just to be fun.
I proposed the idea that the colors for Steadfest would be green and yellow. So, of course, I'm wearing red and black.
Yeah, because it's difficult to find green and yellow
I don't own
apparel.
a lot of green and yellow.
So, like, I was trying to find him a green and yellow plaid ugly hat, and yellow and black was the closest I could find.
Jason Ford, no, I've never used homemade liquid yeast to make a brew. There's a lot of ways to make liquid yeast. I'm not sure what you mean.
The final thing that we came up with our VIPs on what we could do to celebrate Steadfest to make it more fun was to mull all the things. So find your favorite beverage.
Sorry, I have to answer this one.
And mull.
X marks the spot. I don't have Packers gear. Why would I have Packers gear? I am not a sports fan.
He's so not a sports fan.
At all.
Like, completely, totally not a sports fan. But that's okay. Everybody else can be.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any problem with people that do it.
So, mulling all the things. Let's, make a nice, beautiful hot beverage.
Oh, Stacy's saying look up Green Bay Packers apparel.
Okay, that would be the right colors, I think. So, if you're unfamiliar with mulling, it's when you take a wine or cider or pretty much any beverage you want, and you heat it and you add spices, sometimes fruit to it. It gives it an extra nice little punch, and so experiment with that on Steadfest Day, and maybe you'll find a new beverage combination that's even better, more enjoyable for the holidays.
Adam, no. They want me to wear your hat. My head is so hot right now. No, I'm not wearing any hats.
Well, this hat
That hat has a story.
This hat has history, and unfortunately, let me see, it's wired, so sometimes I can get it to work better.
Hey, Kelly, I got one word for you. No.
It's sad, though, isn't it? It's seen
It's
better
okay.
days.
But what does it say on the inside?
It says Toby Keith.
How did you ever get that?
I think Sue bought it for me.
She's not a Toby Keith fan.
I'm not a Toby Keith fan.
Walmart owns the Denver Broncos now? Not surprised, really.
Okay, so thank you, Adam, for bringing this to our attention. David Fitzgerald. It is
true.
He's our viewer that works at the homebrew shop in Dunedin. So, David, we need to come visit you. We need to come say hey and check out your homebrew shop and talk with people, because I think that would be super awesome.
Yeah. By the way, there will not be an official team of anything for City Setting. I would just like to make that statement right now. We're just not fans of sports, so there won't be that. Sorry to anyone that's trying to do that. Okay. Gregory Bogart, you missed what Derek said about heated brews. It's mulling. We're actually going to be doing that, and we're planning on that for coming out Christmas, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Christmas Day. We're going to do Mold Things Part 2. We actually did a Mold Things a couple years ago. We're going to do a new one. Actually, Chris, Derica wears a larger size hat than I do. Just saying.
I have a big head. I'm not against admitting that.
Teresa, thank you. Okay, I have caught up on all the comments. And since this is stupid expensive, I'm going to put it away and get out the other bourbon.
It's going to be one of those nights.
What are you talking about? Getting this one now. Jim Beam, plain old white. Because it's cheap. This bottle costs 1/4 as much as that bottle.
Team K powder.
I think I need ice. Tie-dye hat?
Yeah. Send me a tie-dye hat. I will wear that.
Really?
For Ugly Hat
I
Day?
have never... Oh, for Ugly Hat Day.
I will wear
yeah.
any hat anybody sends
I was
me.
gonna say,
As long as it's not...
I've never seen you wear tie-dye in the entire time I've known you.
Perverse. I will wear the hat.
Quick
The
add
urban
more
things
comments.
are-
We can't let Brian catch up. Thanks, Seasick Viking. I appreciate that. 5 years of brewing. The one thing I've never made is a pint. We don't seem to have much in the line of grapevine over here in the UK. Really? Well, that's true. The UK is not really known for its winemaking. Johnny Sagara, what is y'all's favorite mead? Mine is probably my spiced Metheglin. Okay, they're doing it now. Corey, I made a lamp out of a Jim Beam bottle. I like that. Peter Falk told the kid from Wonder Years that fencing is a sport. Of course it is.
I had the hats already. All the hats that I wore.
Adam is totally...
I've had for
I
years.
guarantee you Adam is doing the Control V to paste that. All the old focus cameras turned on, so
Yes,
that's why you guys and
yes.
gals are seeing the boxes.
Thank you, Adam.
Old fashioned versus whiskey sour, which would you prefer? Easy. Whiskey sour. No problem. Oh, wow. Drew and I are much more alike than I thought we were. Robert Moore, is that the 101? No, this is just Jim Beam. Straight up, Jim Beam.
Do we have one on?
Okay, I can figure out how to remove the squares. Here's the thing. I didn't realize it was happening in my testing. I would have to shut down the entire stream and start it up again to make them go away. So we're only going to be going for like another 45 minutes or so. We can just, pretend there's no squares.
Or make a game of it. Each time you see a new square pop up, take a drink.
I can make it bounce eyes, I think. Is it going from left to right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Teresa, you are very welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, Andy, I knew what you meant. There aren't really a lot of grapes in the UK, no. David Fitzgerald, that's the one that said the thing?
Yep.
Okay, David, you know what? Give me an address. Tell me where this place is. We're going to go. We're just going to go. Maybe this week. Like tomorrow, we'll go. No, it can't be tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay,
Root
DC.
beer.
Making root beer mead. Should I add roots in conditioning or make them into a tea and mix with Everclear until gravity matches, then add? Honestly, I don't know. I hate to answer that because you just did a whole donation and stuff, but we've never done it, so I don't know the best way, and I don't know what roots you're using. So I have a lot of research to do on that one. I'm not prepared to answer that question. I don't want to lead you astray.
Right.
So if anyone here knows,
but if you're
help them out.
if you're using the Everclear as an extracting agent to get the flavor profile that you want, that might be a better way to go to control the flavor, so you know how strong it is or how weak it is, and if it's the right flavor that you want to add to the mead, rather than throwing it into the mead, because I know honey sometimes can be more expensive than the Everclear. So that might be a route to go or something to take into consideration.
Ever try making cotton candy grape mead? This year, we were going to get the cotton candy grapes.
And then they were out.
And then we weren't ready when we had them and when they were in stock. So we didn't do it.
They are on the list with lots of arrows and asterisks.
We were actually going to do a wine.
I think I even put it on the calendar to look for when, because I researched when they're supposed to come into season again, to start looking for them. So it's definitely something we're going to do. We might, if we are able to get a large enough quantity, we might do a wine and a mead, so that way we have it all our bases covered.
Josh Boileau, what have I missed? Everything, man! You missed everything! There'll be a playback. I don't know, maybe I'll do the reading again in a little while for those that weren't here.
The reading, yeah. So many things.
Matt Spong, are you doing another video on your top 5 brews soon? Thanks for the laughs and knowledge. I think we should. We probably should do our top 10. And I think what we should do is a top 10 video between the two of us. Instead of my favorite 5, her favorite 5, we both get to vote. And then we take score them, or we look through the ones that we voted on, and that's the way we give it the favorite ones.
So is it just for 2022?
I don't know.
We do not distill because we can't. It's illegal.
Yeah. Who asked that?
JP.
No, we don't distill. We've never distilled on our channel. We're not going to unless Florida makes it legal.
Or we move to New Zealand.
Yeah, or we move somewhere where it's legal. Because don't get me wrong, if we could do that, I totally would. I'd love to learn how to do that and show everybody. I think that's fantastic. But it's just not legal, so we can't do it.
Yeah. Our top 10 video edited is brew list, or her brew list, sorry.
Yeah, I think Julie, it's the sarsaparilla that's the problem. I don't remember. There's one of the ingredients. It's either sassafras or sarsaparilla that's kind of dicey about safety.
Thank you, Nate.
Thank you, Nate. Didn't you have a question? You can ask us a question. Guys, cut it out.
Children.
Julie, we don't distill.
Yep.
I don't really know much about it, to be honest with you. Getting a tax stamp for distilling is just not worthwhile. No, because it costs millions of dollars because you need insurance, there's lawyer fees, you need a separate building. It's not like you can't just do the distilling like people do for fuel. You need an alcohol distilling permit. It's a whole different thing.
And in our area, there's a lottery. They're only allowing a certain amount of things out, and we looked into all the legalities
Seasick Viking,
of it. And
it's illegal federally in the U.S. So it's illegal in the U.S. There's a few states that allow distilling, but very few. And technically, it's still illegal. If you take that across state lines, you can still go to jail for a felony.
So even if we did, we wouldn't
see,
on YouTube. Because
James Vaughn, get a fuel grade license for your site. That's how we do it in Texas. That's illegal, man. You can't do that. It's illegal. Sorry.
All right, so we're just
no
not
more
gonna
distilling.
Talk about distilling talk.
We don't do it. It's not going to happen. It's not legal. We're not doing it.
Okay. The furry kids are crazy. Yes, they are very crazy.
Nelson Mitchell, the FDA dropped the sassafras off the prescribed list now. Okay.
Cool. That works. So we'll look into that more. And the root beer brews are definitely on the list. So now that we have that information, we can
Ian Sush said this twice now. Would y'all ever do a Mojito Kill You 2? The first one sounded awesome, but stalled, so I can only imagine the improvement. It's stalled, but we're not sure that it's stalled.
Yeah.
Could we do another one? Maybe, but the first one was so great that I don't know. We'll think about it.
The sugar mash fermentation process itself is tricky because we've done other ones.
Mark Manning, go do me a favor. Go to my website and contact us. I never got that coffee. I have a feeling it's our new delivery service that we got. I never got it. I did not remember your name, and I tried to find you. But please go to our website and do the contact us and let me talk to me so that we can have a communication.
Yeah.
I never got it, and I feel horrible because I've been asking her. I'm like, we never got that. So we're gonna test our thing, but it never came, and I don't know if maybe you had the wrong address, maybe I have the wrong address. Something got messed up, but I'm really sorry we never got it. I know that was like 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Adam, the Mojito Kill You is amazing. One of the best brews ever. Yes, I'm biased. Ha ha. Josh, take care. Thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you. And happy Steadfest.
Oh, there we go. Drew just said it. Saffrol is linked to possibly being a carcinogen. You can get saffrol free sassafras extract. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Drew.
Ian Sush, interesting. I started the recipe the other day. What recipe? I didn't see what you're doing. And it's pretty low compared to other ciders I've done so far. Ginger Benz, I'd love to see you do some different forms of ginger wine or mead, like ginger mint, ginger strawberry, etc.
That would have to be me. That would have to be something that I would do because Bri really isn't a fan of ginger. I, on the other hand, love all things ginger, so I will add that to the list. I'm going to put a note right here so I remind myself.
DC, I just want to say thank you for not using a bunch of chemicals and such. I found you guys first and have been reading a ton, and everybody suggests adding chems. We use a few things that would be considered chemicals now, but they're still sort of optional too, and you can get by without them, and there's alternatives if you don't want to. We do it because we've found over the last few years that it does make a little bit of a more predictable brew. Like, we're a teaching channel, so we want to be able to show you that it worked, rather than, oh, hey, sorry guys, this just sucked and it didn't work out. I don't want to do that. I want it to work. So we have seen that there's a little bit more repeatability, a little bit more consistency. Is it necessary all the time? No, and that's why we keep our gravities low to start with.
Yep. So I've added the ginger.
That's right. Adam doesn't like
to it.
Darby Lewis, do y'all smoke? No.
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 So if there's any other
kind of
suggestions of different brews that you'd like to see us do that I haven't added to the list, even though I don't share the list, so you wouldn't know what's on the list. It's long. It's really long. Every time I see somebody in the comments make a suggestion, I add it to the list. But if you have something you want to give us now, go ahead and I will add it to the list.
How many meads have y'all brewed, Giovanni Sagara?
I don't know. Lots.
Considering we started before the channel existed, hundreds? Hundreds. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Thank you,
Julie. Sick. I love you guys. Started making a mead a couple months ago, largely thanks to you guys. Now I have 11 gallons going. We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
It's addictive. An orange chocolate mead would be nice, but I know Brian despises the idea of orange chocolate together. Hey, babe, how do you feel about orange and chocolate together in a mead?
I had a bad experience.
Yep. It's not just me.
Yep.
That probably won't be happening. Kind of like a pumpkin thing.
Yeah, Scrumpy, We have considered Scrumpy. I think I actually put that on the list. I'm
Didn't we
kind of
do Scrumpy?
Yeah, but we can do one and actually call it Scrumpy.
David Fitzgerald, what kind of MTG do you guys play? I saw the cards and video ones. They're in the back. We played for like a couple weeks. Don't really.
Who did what?
MTG.
Oh, okay.
I asked for you to make a pumpkin braggot, no hops optional, no carbonation optional around October. Did you get that? Swish. If I did, I probably said no because it's pumpkin.
I put it on the list, but Bri doesn't like pumpkin.
Yeah, I like squash, but I don't like pumpkin.
So there's
I mean, like pumpkin pie, when I used to actually eat it, I would get like the littlest tiny piece of pumpkin pie and load it with whipped cream. Yeah. That's the only way I could tolerate it.
His joke was that pumpkin pie was a whipped cream delivery device.
That's right. Jeremy Motes, thank you. He says, love the comment and loving the build up to Steadfest.
Yay!
Ted Laughlin, how do y'all deal with pectin haze? Pectic enzyme.
Yep.
James Vaughn, I'm working on my first Viking Blood mead. Do the 2020 version. Trust me, it's so much better than the other two.
Yeah.
Janos Wojtek, any ideas about adding any other spice to the spiced methylene recipe, improving it, since that's a favorite? We gave it an 11.
I'm not sure how we could improve that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough thing to improve at that point.
If we got higher than 11, we'd probably just have to retire and be like, well, this is the pinnacle. We can't do it anymore.
What is Jabbo to Jabat? It sounds like something on Star Wars. Jabbo Takaba wine. What is that? Please tell me it's not like some illegal substance or something.
Why do you read these things?
Stephen Thompson, do you have any pumpkin or peppermint recipes? No pumpkin. Peppermint. We did something with peppermint.
Well, mojito was mint.
Yeah, we did mint in the mojito.
I think I have mint.
Greg Vaughn, technically pumpkin is a squash, so yeah.
I think I have, on the list, I have more mint things to try to figure it up.
Drew, fries or a ketchup delivery device? Then you are eating the wrong kind of fries, my friend. Though I do like ketchup.
Yes, he's a fan of
ketchup. Ketchup is the best sauce ever.
Just
don't put it on spaghetti, because that's disgusting.
Okay, Cassie, we need to go. Go on, skedaddle. Thank you.
Okay. Darby Lewis, can you explain malolactic acid fermentation, how it works, what it is? Confused. All right. Malolactic fermentation is a misnomer because it's actually a malolactic reaction. It's actually a chemical reaction. What it is malic acid being turned into lactic acid, making it much smoother and a little easier to palate. It can, in certain instances, happen spontaneously, all on its own, over several months. In most cases, you have to inject something to make it work because most times we are so clean with our, meaning everybody, we clean everything so well, there's nothing there. The bacteria necessary aren't present to be able to make it happen. Is it necessary? No, but it's kind of a cool thing if it does happen.
Yeah, the question about that fruit tree, I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I can't pronounce things. Anyway, supposedly we can grow it here. And so it was one of the fruit trees that I was interested in trying to grow on the garden channel. But I have run out of room for more fruit trees. So
cherry limeade.
We aren't finding the fruit available at our local grocers. We have a couple that are more into the exotic fruits, and so I can try to reach out to them and see if they can provide us with that, and then maybe we could do something with it. But it's probably going to be lower on the list simply because of the availability of that to our audience worldwide.
All right, time to make it cooler in here. And I'm not going to start up everybody's Amazon AI device. I'll just do ours.
He's going to do it typey.
There we go.
No more hats.
Adam Franklin. I still have 3 bottles of the original Vikings blood that's been aging for 3 years. Well, la-ti-da. I know you do, and I'm jealous because I got to see you open one on Zoom. And that's just, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. Mitchell Ward, thank you for all you guys do. Love the hobby. You're welcome. Glad we could help. Poppy and Mama's got a cherry limeade going right now. Second time my kids love it. That sounds good. I'm not a huge lime person, but cherry limeade just does sound good to me.
I'm going to write it down.
There we go.
I think I already have it, but...
Oh boy, I scrolled up a little bit.
You shouldn't do that.
Christopher Menz. Oh, speaking about lactic, have you all done a lactomel? Nope, and we're not going to. We actually, most of you probably know, we're 100% plant-based, so we won't use anything that's not plant-based. Honey is plant-based. It's just not vegan. That's why we don't say we're vegan.
Yeah.
Does it require additional something was my question. Darby, I'm so sorry. I probably talked to 15 people between now and the last time I answered your question. What was the question? Ask me again. I'll happily do it.
Somebody just gave us a bunch of money.
Who did?
I don't know. I just saw the orange.
Holy
pop up.
crap!
You scrolled.
I got to scroll.
Okay, scroll.
Nate Coots.
Nate!
Dude, thank you. That's
You're
awesome. Okay, coming from a Viking family, I can assure you that your Viking blood recipe is well liked by my entire clan. Awesome.
Yay!
So do you guys still like rape and pillage too, or
Would you stop?
what? I'm just asking.
Ignore him, please. He can be obnoxious.
What do you do to fix bitter meads? Any interest in making vinegars? If we do make vinegars, it might be on this channel. It might be on the plant-based channel. We're not sure yet. Bitter meads, generally speaking, if it's bitter, it's because something's out of whack. Your balance, whether it's your tannins, your acids, or your sweetening, is something out of whack. Bitter usually can be fixed by a little bit of sweetening, and it doesn't even need much.
Yeah.
6 points of sweetening, boom, can change that instantly.
There is an inherent, what we've noticed in the fermenting of honey, a bitter note at the end. And so if you don't have a really clean process in fermenting, or if you don't have the right balance, as Brian already said, then sometimes that bitter note gets a little more pronounced, and that might be what you're witnessing.
Okay. Johnny Sagara, can chocolate milk ferment? Yes. Should you do it? Probably not. Just saying. Darby, does malolactic fermentation require additional something? In general, yes, only because of most modern brewing methods are so clean. If you went back 200 years, you probably didn't have to because there was so much other bacteria there. By the way, this thing is reminding me to put ads in here. I'm not doing it. Why? Because we like you guys. If you watch the replay, there'll be ads, but here, no ads. No ads. Okay. Probot, did you get Derek a present for her 22nd birthday tomorrow? Are you taking her out? I'm taking her out.
He's taking me out.
We actually don't buy each other presents. You know why? Because if we're out and we go, hey, I want that, we buy it.
That's why when we went to the store today and I saw that bourbon that I knew Brian liked that was hidden, stuck in a tiny corner, I'm like, hey, babe, here's an $80 bourbon for you.
Yeah. Seasick Viking, no, not in the first, but once alcohol is introduced, pillaging is entirely option. I agree with you. See, he got what I was saying. I was joking. I've seen a bottle of me that had hops in it. I'm not sure how that works. Easy, they hopped it. I mean, you can dry hop. People do that with beers too if they didn't get enough hops flavor or if they want more. You can dry hop mead, no problem. It's not a super common thing, but a lot of people seem to like it. Can a braggot-like beverage be made from caramelized sugar? Glenn Combs. It can be made from caramelized sugar, but only a braggot has to be made with honey. Now, if you're saying a braggot-like just a sweetened beer, yeah, sure, you can do that. My problem with that is it loses some of the character of the barley when you do that, so I don't know that I'd want to. Rita, thank you so much. Oh, thanks for no ads. You're welcome.
So somebody has requested cat camera time. So this is Tigger. She prefers to be on Brian's lap than mine, but she got up here anyway.
Julie, if you were to make a Bigfoot hard cider, what would it taste like? Footy. I mean, I'd have to put a foot in. I don't think we have a wide mouth container for a Bigfoot.
I'll put my fez back.
Ian Sush, now all I can think of is a plant-based Bailey style brew. Actually, that's really easy. It's just get any non-dairy milk and it works. Happy early birthday, Greg Vaughn. It's his birthday tomorrow too.
Oh, cool! Yay!
Whoa. Aubrey Sullivan, I just started my first sweet red with bread yeast yesterday. It's hanging out with that smoky bacon meat fermenting. Awesome. The sweet red is amazing.
So David got cotton candy.
I didn't get there yet.
He got them at Sprouts.
Oh.
Just Friday. Really?
Really? Because season ended
2
months ago.
That would be cool. All right.
Vince UK, a question for the room. Has anyone found a decent source of wood for aging in the UK? Adam? Care to take this one?
Adam.
Game Freak 112.
Oh, the hat.
Yeah. There. L-Tune, you're welcome for the no ads. Swish, I want you to make another braggot recipe. We'll consider it. Beer stuff doesn't do real well on our channel, so we don't do a lot of them. Yes, samples and tests. Dance Mod meads are hopped. At least some of them are. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Many of them are hopped.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny. Tigger will have her screen time if she wants to. I'm surprised Rascal hasn't come over
Well, we
yet.
got Thor and Gizmo over here.
Yeah. Rascal has not jumped on me yet.
Fawn hasn't been feeling well, but she's giving us the eye from over there.
Seasick Viking, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Deetons abound. I respect your non-chemical approach to making brews. Thanks for the knowledge. You are welcome. Rob V, can I send you a recipe I made and get your thoughts? Honestly, throw it up on the channel. Put it on one of the, put it as a comment on one of our videos. That's the easiest way to do it. I know a lot of people don't use their comment section. We do.
We do, yeah. Thanks, Drew.
What'd you do, Adam? Oh, he already did it.
He answered,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm behind the time. I'm trying to catch up. What are we making next? Oh my God.
So many things. We got wines. We have meads. We have a bunch of ciders coming up.
Yeah, Darby wants to know what we're making next so she can have ingredients ready.
What's coming out next, or what we're making next? Because see,
I think our next actual brew that's coming
we're
out
future people. So.
is Drew's favorite, the Merlot.
The Merlot.
But it's not coming out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So our Christmas release is actually...
We did a pomegranate something.
Yeah.
What do we do? Roxanne Sexton, can you make a pomegranate wine? We certainly can, but we made a pomegranate something. Pomegranate chocolate, didn't we? But we could, we'll do something with pomegranate. I don't know.
What was it? Was it pomegranate chocolate? I don't know what we did.
Gary Howery, can you do another bochet, please? Why? We suck at making bouchets.
They're annoying.
I don't think I like them. I hate to say that. Drew, thank you so much. Norberto Torres, thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you for getting into brewing. Jerry Wilson, how many cats do you have? In theory or in reality? Theoretically, about 50. In reality, 7. Probot, I'm soon to make a mead after Christmas. Any experience with infused honey? Infused with what? Because honey can be infused with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Whoa! I see,
This is why I don't let him be in control of these things, because he gets behind and then...
You ever blend dry mead into an overly sweet mead to balance it out? We actually have not done that, but we should. It's definitely something that we should get. See, she's going to do it.
We keep talking about it, and then...
Okay, Teresa Couch, can you make a 5-gallon hydromel? Yes, you can. You take one of our 1 gallon, scale it up by 5, and add the same amount of yeast that we did in the 1 gallon. That's how you make 5 gallons. The same process, same amount of time, same everything. I explained this earlier. This is a 1 gallon fermenter. Notice how I can carry it and I can move it around, and it doesn't block Derica's lovely face. But if this was a 5 gallon fermenter, it would take up more than half the space on the table. We wouldn't be able to move it around, and it would be much, much, much harder for us to instruct anyone as to how to make stuff. That's why we make 1 gallon. Besides the fact that if we were to make 5 gallons of everything, we don't drink the 1 gallon of everything. What are we going to do with 5?
Yeah. Well, I think we did a 3 gallon on film once.
We've done it. We've done 5.
But I'm talking on film. I can't remember what...
Yeah.
I know we've done one, I think it was a 3 on film. And just the process of trying to film something that large was really difficult, besides manhandling it. So that's the main reason why
Adam said we did a pomegranate mead. Thanks, Adam.
we film 1 gallons is because it's easier for us to share how to do it on...
And it's more practical for us. We don't need to have 20 bottles of something around. Okay, Jeff Williams, my comment got lost above, but did you guys mention at what time you're doing the giveaway tomorrow? Just want to know because I'll be at work and want to know when to tune in. It's actually coming out at 9 o'clock. It's a pre-recorded. It's not a live. So it'll be available anytime. But 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10, probably like 9:30. Okay, samples and test. I'm making a Groot. I'm dry spicing as opposed to dry hopping. How long should I leave the spices in? Unfortunately, that's a very difficult question to answer.
Because there's different variables that are going to change the time frame. How much alcohol you have, like what your ABV is, the higher the ABV, the more quickly it's going to extract the essence from the spices.
Yep. And what spices you're using and how much.
And the temperature at which your brew is sitting. If your brew is in a warmer climate, then that's going to aid the extraction as well. Where if it's cooler, it's going to slow things down slightly. The best suggestion we can give you is taste it like every, couple of weeks or so?
In the beginning, give it a week or two. After that, go like three to 5 days.
And just take little samples, and then when it gets to the point that you like it, you want to yank those spices out of there or they are going to over extract.
Deans abound. Also, thanks for taking the time and posting videos with actual results. Nothing more frustrating than watching a recipe video with no results. A lot of YouTubers don't put the time and foresight into it. We used to do multi-part videos, and we learned really, well, it took us a couple of years to figure it out, but that it was not to our benefit. It wasn't helping anyone because enough people were asking like, oh, where's part 2 or where's part 3? Not really. It was right there in the description. But we realized YouTube isn't made to work that way. So instead, we just hold them, put it all together, try to make it a little bit more concise because back in the day, our videos would have each been like an hour. And then we'd have like 4 or 6 parts sometimes. I'm like, that's insane. Like, that's more time than it took to ferment it, you know? So we just try to make a one video that's a little bit long, but try to get all the details in there. So thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Drew, you would really like the pomegranate chocolate. Based on what I've heard, stuff that you've made, I think you would really like that.
Yeah.
Rob V, no dogs. No, we don't have dogs. I am actually a dog person. We would have dogs if we didn't have cats. At this point, we used to be wedding photographers. So we would be like home, gone for like all day.
Yeah.
So for a dog, that's harder. For a cat, it made sense. Derica came from a line of, well, cats and dogs.
I am an animal person.
So
I am neither a dog nor a cat person.
A cat happened into our life, and we became cat people.
Cats, dogs,
that's exactly why.
Snakes, turtles, I don't care. They're all wonderful to me.
Whoa. Yeah, Barry Drake. I like the new format so much better. Me too. It actually makes it easier. Darby, we plan on doing these a few times a year. The problem with lives, I was doing a 30-minute Thursday. And first, it's very difficult because I hate to sound this way, but being a creative person, there's days that you're creative and there's days that you're not. And if I'm just not into it, it's so hard for me to sit down and say, in every week at this time or this time next week, I am going to be turned on and ready to go. That is so hard to do. And we were doing that every week, and I was getting the same questions every week. Like after the first 2, I went, I'm getting the same questions. So it doesn't benefit to do it often, but there is a benefit to doing them sometimes and once in a while because it lets us interact with you guys directly. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Robot's got it. They understand.
Yeah, forcefully creative is so taxing. We used to have a snake and turtles.
Yep. Ural the turtle, Jasper the red-tailed Columbia boa constrictor. They have passed, so that's why they're no longer in our lives.
Wait a minute. Brian and Derica should give it a try. L-Tune said this to...
Nelson.
Yeah, that's way up there, and I'm not scrolling again. Ha, ha, Adam. So funny. Does it tell you when it's raining because it's wet?
Would you stop?
I like guinea pigs. So do our cats. That's the problem.
For those of you who don't know, all of the people whose name is Blue, those are our admins, our moderators. They are part of our team, and they are here to help us out and to help you out. So if Brian gets a little snarky with one of them, it's because they're like family to us. So.
We talk to them every day. I talk to them more than I talk to my actual family, other than her.
Yeah. Sangria. Yeah. So the reason why we haven't fermented a sangria is because sangria isn't fermented. It's a wine that is
It's a wine cocktail.
Added.
It's a wine cocktail.
But That said, we did do a brew that had sangria-like notes, and that made me think, well, we could just
there's a good question
a
here.
bunch of fruit together and call it sangria. Why not? So yeah.
Daryl Brander. If it wasn't for you two, I would not have gotten back into brewing. I've been having a blast with small gallon brews. Awesome. Johnny P. What made you want to start a BrewTube channel? We didn't.
We didn't.
We didn't intend to. When we were wedding photographers, we said, hey, let's start a retirement channel on YouTube, just making stuff, cooking, gardening, this kind of thing. And then I was like, I'm kind of into brewing. Why don't I do a brew? And I did Viking Blood. And a couple months into it, we were like, this isn't really working out so much. So, we just kind of slacked off. I think we didn't put out a video for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then my phone started exploding one weekend. And we're like, what the heck? And I ignored it. I'm like, what is this? So I turned off notifications. And Kenny and Adam will laugh because they've been off ever since. It was Viking Blood exploding. We went from like 52 subscribers to 1,500 subscribers in like 48 hours.
Yeah, we were getting 400 subscribers a day.
It was
nuts. It was insane.
And that video today is our number 2 video on the channel with like 800 and something thousand views still.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that we went, hey, maybe people like brews. So we started doing more. And then we ended up splitting the channel. So we had a brews channel and a City Sitting Cooks for a while, which is now basically the plant-based bistro and plant life. It's both of those. So we have those 3, and then we have a Brianized channel that's about photography and, well, whatever I feel like making.
And
so
kitty sitting.
we technically have 5 channels, yeah. Nate Coots, the number 1 video is how to make a basic cider.
Yep.
It just passed out Viking Blood.
Yep.
68 snakes all at the same time? Stacy, you don't have 68 snakes. You may have had. Okay.
They got a 2-story.
Chris,
They might have 60.
Okay, hey, Adam, Chris Clark needs to know why we're seeing boxes on our faces. Have you guys ever used Hershey's unsweetened cocoa as the chocolate flavoring? Nope. Because I don't think it'll actually work. I think it'll just fall to the bottom. I don't think it'll actually get into it.
We had a problem with this, and we used the PB Fit peanut butter powder.
Aubrey Sullivan, Brianized.
And
that's all you need to know.
It didn't work very well because for some reason the powders seem to not extract as well as we'd like them to. So we're finding if you want the chocolate flavor, using the cocoa nibs and extracting it correctly, which I think we didn't do correctly the first time we used them, is going to aid in that chocolate flavor. I actually have a recipe that I've written out that we haven't got to yet, where we're going to use the cocoa nibs again and try to show the correct way to properly extract that chocolate flavor so you can have your chocolate flavored brew.
Adam or Kenny, could you guys put links to our other channels for me, please? A couple people have asked now, so.
Plant Life and Plant-Based.
Yeah, but links would be better. That way they can just get right to it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have so many channels, and Brianized has had 2 iterations. Brianized used to be just a photography channel. Then I changed the name of that to photography and stuff and made a new Brianized channel, and then that didn't really work out so well.
That was his vlog experiment.
It was an experiment, and then I changed it back, and now those videos have been dispersed.
Thor, come here.
Alex Can. Ale Can! Dude! Guys, I used your raisin wine recipe with no brown sugar. I used more raisins to back sweeten and added French oak and the same cognac used. And I know that sounds good. Raisin wine with French oak and cognac. Ooh.
That sounds yummy.
Greg Vaughn, I encourage you to reconsider dried chilies. I don't have a problem with dried chilies. I just feel that for the capsicum jalapeno is my favorite. That's all. Yep, Adam and Kenny are both on it.
So you wanted more cats? Here's more cats. This is Thor.
The god of slumber.
If you go to
John,
kitty setting, he has his own video.
John Johnson, what are your thoughts on conical fermenters? Do you want the truth or do you want the candy-coated version?
All right, so we had one, and the key word there is we had it.
We gave it to somebody. We gave it away.
Part of the problem with any fermenter, regardless of what style it is is how easy it is to use and
How easy it is to
to clean and sanitize.
Star San was incompatible.
Yeah, so that didn't work for us.
We had to use something that wasn't actually a sanitizer, it was a cleaner. And I was like, I don't like that idea, and I'm not going to put that on my channel. Other than that, a conical fermenter, in theory, sounds great. I don't personally find any reason for it. I know many people who like them, and I've heard from more people who hate them. So, I don't know. I mean, if you want to try it, give it a try. I also don't really like working with plastic, so. Johnny P., I'm glad we decided to keep going too. COVID kind of forced that on us. Yeah. Our wedding business was failing enough that we just said, you know what, let's just do this full time. So we went into it full time. And we actually had like 35,000 subscribers when we went full time. So it's been a while.
Yep.
Almost 3 years now, full time. Zach Thomas, thank you both for all you do. I've been binge watching your videos lately, much to the chagrin of my wife, though she was happy to try the spiced methagen that I just racked last night. Steadfest. Awesome. Thor is Adam's favorite cat, by the way.
Yes.
Or the Irish mead, would you suggest making a tea out of the dried flowers? Oh my god, dude, I don't even remember what we did in that one.
Irish mead was, I think it was yarrow, elderflower, and something else. So yeah, you can totally make a tea with any of those type of things. And part of the benefit of making a tea first rather than putting it in your brew is you have more control over the potency of the different things that you extract. So during the steeping, you can take little tastes of it, similar to an extraction used with a neutral spirit, such as Everclear or vodka, and you can create something that is the strength of your preference before adding it to whatever else you're doing, be it sugar or honey. If you're adding it to honey and you're making a mead, that might be a really good way to go, because that way you're not guessing with the honey. You have the flavor already dialed in pretty much.
It's kind of like you have your flavor pack there already versus hoping for extraction. Alex Ken, with Amberana, it's with an A, that's all. You had it more or less right. That same raisin wine recipe with Amberana wood. I agree. Thor's the collective admin spirit animal because he likes naps. Kenny, have you ever met a cat that doesn't? Just come to our house. Adam F., I believe you just dumped them into the video for a minute. Yeah, I probably did, because I don't always make teas. And sometimes our choice to make a tea of the herbs versus putting them in the fermenter is really because we want to show you guys variety and how to do it. It really doesn't have anything to do with this is going to be a better method. They're different methods. So we can show you, here's one way to do it, here's another way to do it. That's really what most of it comes down to. Yeah, Adam, I know. I just don't like plastic.
Gizmo.
You know why here's why I don't like plastic. I'll be totally honest. First, it scratches. If you use anything that can scratch it, it scratches. And you can get places where bacteria can hide. That's a scary thing to me. And second, the chemical makeup of plastic is very close to the chemical makeup of fat, which means any weird flavors or aromas or oils that come out of your brew could embed themselves, literally embed, and be taken in by that plastic and then be given back to the next brew. Glass doesn't do that. Swish. I did the blackberry mead and added more blackberries, added 1 teaspoon of ground clove by recipe, and it wasn't overpowering. Honestly, if I could redo the blackberry, I would do that very, very different. There's a lot of things that I would like to add to that. I don't think they did that one justice. I think it could be a great mead. I just think it needs more of some of the things that they were putting in there and less of some others. I added Hershey's to my Vikings blood and conditioning. It added a wonderful chocolate flavoring, chocolate amaranth. It did fall to the bottom, but not before flavoring. Teresa, was that the powder or you just dropped the Hershey's chocolate bar in there?
Yes, no, stop.
Because the cocoa, I worry about the fat. Fat can go rancid.
I wish you could turn the camera over to the window.
To Gizmo freaking out?
Gizmo is just she's full on wide-eyed crazy cat right now. I don't know why, but it's okay.
Take care, Giovanni.
Thank you.
The video comes out at 9 a.m. our time, so that's 13 hours from now. Did you take? You did.
I did.
Pill time. Anyway, Giovanni says happy birthday.
Thank you. Are you scrolled all the way to the bottom? Okay, good.
I am at the bottom.
Excellent.
Dan Simmons, hi guys, I got here late. I'm backing up to watch from the beginning. Just wanted to tell you that I love this entire idea. Thanks for doing this. Looking forward to doing this with you every year. Us too. Chris Clark, do you ever use simple syrup to back sweeten after fermentation? This is a really good question. No, and here's why. Simple syrup will dilute the brew too, so it changes your ABV, which makes calculation a little bit more difficult, and it could restart fermentation. If you're just past alcohol tolerance, it could restart. We could do it if you made a really strong simple syrup, but we tend to not. Corey Achenbach, I'm going to make my first cider after the holidays because of watching you guys. Awesome.
Yay!
Brian Kemp, once my beer and cider brews are finished, I plan on making your spiced methylene with Guajillo honey. I just bought this weekend. Love your channel. What does Guajillo honey taste like compared to like a wildflower or orange honey? I want to know. Inquiring minds.
Yep, this is Gizmo. Drew knows more of the cats than most people. She is our matriarch kitty. She is a Siamese patterned cat, but she's not a purebred Siamese. She's just a kitty.
Chris, you are absolutely right. A sour in a fermenter will stay there because the Brettanomyces will get into the plastic, and it's going to stay there forever. You're not going to get it out. I don't like using plastic because a lot of things can do that. Yeast can do that. Bacteria do that. All sorts of things. So people like if you ever have an infection that goes from brew to brew to brew, if you're using plastic, that's why. It's just because plastic will take those things in. It's too chemically similar to fat. So fat and wax actually. Luann Graham, have you ever done a sparkling mead, or is this a no-no? Many. I can't even begin to think. We've done quite a few hydromels that were sparkling. I think we did at least one full-on mead that was sparkling. Yeah, it's totally fine. Yep. Wine and mead. To me, wine and mead are both wine, okay? If you can sparkle a wine, you can sparkle a mead. No problem. Mark, thank you. I'm so sorry. I could not remember. I knew it began with an M, but I couldn't think of the name. I know it's been a while. And I really appreciate all the effort you've gone through, and I appreciate you contacting me. I will get this taken care of. I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to get the product that you sent, but I want to find out what's going on.
So Tiger Pat lost video and sound, but he still has chat. How is that?
How did you lose video and sound and you still have chat? That's insane. I'm currently using Darby Lewis. I'm currently using a plastic 5-gallon carb. I tried to take the airlock off of it, and it sucked vodka into my fermenter. I'm now against plastic, but that little shot caused problems. No, a little bit from your airlock, not an issue. Got to think about it. You know, a shot of vodka into 5 gallons, it's nothing. Don't even worry about that. Glenn Combs, isn't the plastic infection also true in wood? Yes, absolutely. That's why we sterilize the wood before we put it in. Drop in boiling water, 5 minutes. Kills off everything that could be in there. Aubrey Sullivan, have you ever used a soda machine to carbonate? Nope, because I've heard horror stories about people trying to do that. I mean, I know it can be done. People have done it, but I've heard so many people making a mess of their house by doing it.
Yeah, we do have, was it a mini keg?
We have a 1-gallon keg that I asked for Christmas one year, and I got it. Yeah. It's been 2 years. It's still in the box. Because, I don't know, it just doesn't, to me, it's $100 plus item. It doesn't sound right on our channel to really promote that. I know we just did the sous vide, but you can get a sous vide immersion circulator for like $40 now. So it's not like you have to have the fancy one that her brother gave me. I didn't buy that thing. You kidding me?
The reason why we tag the ones that we do is normally because that's the actual product that we have, so we feel more comfortable tagging that. But you can use that tag and then continue your search to find something that's more in your price range.
Exactly. If you use our link to get to Amazon, anything that you buy in there for 24 hours, we get credit for. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything more. Right. Just we get credited for that because we brought you there. We started that session. So the actual link isn't as critical as you getting there. But if you ever need help of what to get, just ask. Ask a question on any of the videos that it's appropriate, and we'll happy to help. Yeah, samples and tests. I know you mentioned experimenting forced carbonation, not natural carbonation. Have you tried it? No, we have not. That's the mini keg that we didn't get. Danny, are you part of any local homebrew groups? I've been going to some meetings for my local one, and it's been great. No, we're not, but we're going to be speaking possibly at a local beekeepers group. I don't think we even have any local homebrewers.
So we're getting a times heads up, just so you are aware.
I know.
Okay.
Alex Can, guys, you should do a video of a simple cider or sparkling apple wine recipe with different yeasts and see which tastes better. Okay.
We did a couple of those with wines.
Here's the problem. If I pick 5 yeasts, somebody's going to say, why didn't you use this one and 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 this one? There's hundreds and hundreds of yeasts, and they're all different. And if you get a different juice than we did, this yeast is going to react different. There's so many variables. Yeast can change the flavors, but to say that this one is going to be the best is really very subjective. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes, Jeff, you're right.
Boiler, Black Man, the kids on more. Cats are the masters of the universe, and they all know it. Mark, the problem with having our cats around when we're brewing is cat hair.
Yeah.
It gets everywhere. Yep. So we try to keep them away when we're brewing. You'll notice in some of the tastings, like the 1 year tasting, they might be around for because it's not anything critical. Chris Clark, I've accidentally created sparkling wine. Not sure how it happened. Was not trying for it. It's because it probably wasn't done when you bottled. That's usually how that happens. Jeff, I disagree. I own my cats. They may have a different opinion, but they are owned.
Thank you, Weston. Happy Steadfest.
Is he leaving? How did you see that before me? Oh, see you, Wes. I'm like up at the top, and she's leaving the bottom already.
Yes, our older videos do have plenty of cat bombs.
Yeah, and Adam's right. We actually have compared yeast quite a bit in different brews. Yeah, the older videos, most definitely.
Yeah.
If you saw the way Rascal reacts when I come by, you'd know.
Yeah, but see, Brian likes to think that he's the boss. No, that cat has got him wrapped around his finger so tight. He's like, I need snuggles. And Brian's like, oh,
I'll be right back.
My baby. So yeah, no, we know. Brian's just not willing to admit it.
People want to see more cats. You gotta let go. Do people want more cats?
So David said he can introduce us to more groups and stuff if we're interested. Yeah, David, we'll get up there and talk. Send us a message. Are you on Facebook? I'm gonna
just go to our contact us page.
Oh yeah. Just
website.
Use the contact page. Ignore the don't contact us. Just say, hey, it's David from Dunedin, and we'll know. And we can set up a time to come up there when you're working and when it's not too crazy busy. I know the holidays are probably super busy for you guys, so probably not right now, but when things calm down or are a little more sane, then we can
Drew knows
we can
who
chat.
This is. This is Rascal. This is the baby.
Rascal, the baby.
Darby Lewis, my first try bottle after 2 weeks and never blew up. If degassed and fermented dry, will not blow up. If degassed and fermented dry, yeah, it won't blow up. Exactly. That's exactly how you do it. Kenny, some cats run the house. Actually, this one does. John Johnson, Inigo is another one. He's in there.
And he is a little full of himself, so he's not really a snuggler so much. He
used to be.
He likes attention when he likes attention, but it has to be 100% on his terms. Otherwise, somebody is going to bleed, most likely me. So he probably won't be making a...
No, he doesn't like to be held anymore.
Tonight, yeah.
Rascal loves to be held. He will see. Yep, see, he likes the beard thing.
He loves getting the beard snuggle, yeah. He'll look up and try to do that to me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, guy, I don't have anything for you.
Vince UK, I thought Tigger was Brian's baby. She's my baby girl.
Yeah.
This is my baby boy. They're different and equal.
Thank you, Chris.
Tigger also doesn't like being held much. But Tigger she will totally be right next to me if I'm sick, or she sleeps like on my legs when I'm watching TV. This one and her battle for my legs when I'm sleeping at night.
Yeah, when I'm sick, then I have Team Thor and Fawn as my nursemates.
Vince, it's okay. Tigger was definitely Daddy's little girl. I mean, she still favors me.
Yeah.
This one is just, he's a mush. I mean, look at him.
Thank you, Swish.
Robert Moore, have you ever thought of doing a wild fermentation again? We've thought about it. We actually, okay, I got to be honest. We did one. It didn't work. It didn't take.
The problem with wild fermentations is they're wild, so you never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, a lot of people will ask us all the time, like, oh, what's the alcohol tolerance of wild yeast? I'm like,
whatever they want it to be.
they don't even know. I mean, there's no packet, you know? Kurt Ulrich, almost forgot. Thank you guys for everything you guys share with us, from homebrews to reviews or just anything you guys post. You are very welcome. Thank you for watching. Amy Smola, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I think that was to you.
Thank you.
My birthday's not till January.
That's why I said thank you.
I know. Alpha Panda, I know I'm late, but I'm here now. And, you know, that's what's important. I think we're going to be shutting this off soon. Yeah, Funky. Wild Reese don't read either. Of course they don't. They're not. They're even uneducated. Yes, I know. I'll get you. Here we go.
I'm glad you had a companion, Barry. It's important for the healing process.
A couple weeks ago when I was sick and on the couch, I had this one on my lap, Inigo up against my side, and Tigger was like up near my head. And Thor wasn't far away either.
Bye, Jeff.
See you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody.
Joe, I don't have pets, just kids. They're worse, don't like to be held anymore either. Well, as you can tell, this one hates being held. Has he moved?
Not really.
Are his eyes even open anymore?
Yeah, they're still open. They kind
Okay, Rob V, tell us more about Steadfest traditions.
Okay, thank you for asking. So Steadfest is tomorrow, but today I'm going to wear the king of ugly hats. Today is
glorious.
Ugly Hat Day, otherwise known as the night before Steadfest. So this is where we encourage you to wear your ugliest, finest hat, just to be silly, because why not? And then on Steadfest, our traditions that we made up for our made-up holiday are to decorate the fermenter. So our decoration of choice suggestion is masking tape and Sharpies, but you can use your imagination. And because this was my first attempt of trying to create a plaid decoration with masking tape on a curved surface, none of which I recommend, we're not going to do that anymore. And instead, I plan on making plaid silly ornaments that I'm going to put up on the website as a PDF so you can download them and print them out yourself so you can share along with the ridiculousness and hang them on your fermenter if you want. So the other thing is, don we now our plaid apparel. There's always a silly thing to wear on a holiday, so we thought plaid to celebrate our plaid tier
I'm still sweating from
of the
that
VIP would be fun. So that's one of the things we got.
Julie, no.
Round robin ranting. This is where you get around with a bunch of friends and family and you just rant about silly things. You don't have to have a serious rant. I think the sillier the rant is, the better. So you can even rant about ranting, you know? Whatever. Malt, all the things. This is our beverage of choice.
Oh, yeah.
Take a fancy beverage.
She's still talking.
Warm it up. Put some spices and fruit in there and drink it and be happy. And that's it. That's all we got.
All right. I'm going to ask Julie's upset that you're not going to brew in that.
Oh, jeez.
How do you sanitize that now? It'll all fall off. Anyway, I have a question for you because we're getting very, very close to ending this. Does anyone want to rehear the reading of 'Twas the Ugly Hat Night before Steadfest.
You're welcome, Swish. Yes.
I got a yes. That's all I need.
All right. So this is a thing that Brian wrote up, and he was inspired by
They're all saying yes.
by Sarah, who I believe was the one that yelled out Malala Things because she helped me come up with the name of Malala Things. She wrote her own version up. It was a little F-bomby, so we wrote a new one. Well, Brian wrote a new one, and I thought it was very clever and touching. And so it talks a little bit about our feelings of Steadfest, and more importantly...
Alpha Panda said no. Hey, kick him out.
More importantly, our feelings towards you. So without further ado, a reading from Brian.
Here's some ado. Alex Can, my Wild Turkey 101 thought. It's awesome. That's all there is to say. Anyway. Okay, see, other people said they missed it. Yeah, Alpha Panda's changing his mind now. That's right. See, as soon as I say kick him out, he's changing his mind. I see how you are. All right, are we ready? Are you sure?
Go.
'Twas ugly hat night before Steadfest, when all through the house every creature was stirring, but with our cats there was no mouse. The fermenters were sitting in the station with care, in hopes that the giveaways soon would be there. The viewers were watching on TVs and phones, with visions of prizes arriving at their homes. And Derek in her hat, and I in my cap, had just hit record on a video that explains what Steadfest means and what it is for, hoping that some of those prizes are yours. It's hot. When out of nowhere a commenter spoke of yeast and of mead, and from a daydream I woke. This daydream I had was of a huge celebration, with Steadheads coming from every nation. I looked to my right and saw that she had the same vision, and together we finished the video, poured each a cup, and sat by the bookcase, drinking them up. Somehow, someday, this party must be. No promises yet, just know that we cherish our viewers who laugh at our jokes, love every time that Derica says, turbos. This Steadfest, remember, the point of it all is for each and every one of us, big and small, to enjoy what we have, to make what we drink, keeping it simple, the best we can think. So unto all, I raise my filled glass. To each of you, we offer thanks and a digital hug. Without you, Steadfest would not be here, but we do hope it comes again next year. And with that, we're going to have to call it a night. Aubrey Sullivan, what is the Facebook group? If you go to our website, you'll see VIP Club membership. You have to be a VIP Club member in order to join the Facebook group. It's a premium group thing.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you so much for saying that. Wow. Comments galore.
So thank you to you for joining us in our ridiculousness. We appreciate each and every one of you. We really like that you are engaging with us and sharing in this wonderful craziness that is Steadfest.
Thanks,
and
Julie.
A huge thank you to our
Barry,
moderators.
dude, thank you. You're already a VIP, man.
Barry, stop. Thank you.
Go home.
So Kenny, Adam, Stacy, thank you so much for helping out.
Yeah, that was awesome.
To keep things going with us.
It certainly keeps things flowing a little bit nicer.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And tomorrow at in almost 12 hours, in 12 hours and 40 minutes from now, we announce all the winners of the Steadfest giveaways.
Yep.
And like we said, there's no cost to anybody in that. A couple of people were asking about that. No, we're paying the shipping on those. It's our thank you to you for watching us, for putting up with us for 5 years. I mean, March 2nd is going to be 5 years you guys have been watching us. Oh my God, we had to do something, like, wow, I couldn't watch myself for 5 years. Anyway.
So thank you.
And I know that you're going to see us for 30 seconds after we hit stop.
You were supposed to do the little do thing.
Do 30 seconds. What am I supposed to do here?
I thought we had a little
Oh,
picture we could put up.
We do. Let me find that little do. Because I'm supposed to do a do. No, I'm coming back. So I forgot that when I do that, we lose audio.
We're still working out the kinks, obviously, with
Hey,
square
we went
eyes.
live like a year ago.
I know, but we'll get better at this.
I mean, come on.
I'm gonna get a cattle prod or something and force Brian to do these more often, at least twice a year, preferably 4 times a year.
But we are going to let this go live.
Longer.
No, live.
Oh, live, right? Yeah.
Like
so
you can watch
so you
this
can watch it again.
afterwards.
Yeah.
In case you missed it.
Yeah.
What an see, Alpha Panda. What an see that? You know, we planned it that way. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, we're
Night,
talking.
folks. I'll be here all year. And now we just have to sit here for 30 seconds and not do anything.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. 12 a month.
There's very few things I do 12 times a month.
All right, say goodnight. Good night. Why do you keep switching it back and forth?
Because I'm being funny. Bye, everybody.
Don't. I'm serious. Hit the button and stop.